Hello everyone.
Hi there.
We are making this video today on Memorial Day 2020 in honor of all those soldiers, sailors, airmen, Marines, and military affiliates that have lost their lives in the many years of conflict and war and battle that this country's been in. But we're also making this video as a family in regards to all of the changes that has happened over the past couple of months with the COVID-19 pandemic. And we'll go into, I guess, a little bit of our experience and what our feelings is, our views, and we want to pretty much put this out to our family and Facebook friends because both
Something
of
been
us,
weighing on our hearts.
it's been weighing. We've been very moved by it. I think start off yesterday we had an experience when we went down. We took a family drive down to Charlottesville, Virginia, and walked along the mall there. And we just get an outdoor experience of taking the children out, getting some fresh air. Tobias is attempting to walk, and Sage loves to talk to people. We're all very social people, very happy individuals in life. And this has nothing to do with both of our services, Mandy, Air Force, and myself, U.S. Navy. But we had an experience of going to one of the restaurants there, and we were thinking of grab something to eat. It's an outdoor seating. Some of the restaurants are open. The two young ladies who were the hosts met us to the door with both masks on, and
So we
then
asked them what was on the menu and could we sit outside. And first words out of their mouth was, "In order to sit here, you need to have a mask on to eat." She began to explain more in detail what was required in order to enter.
yeah, and so there was a hand washing station outside of the entrance to get to the outside seating area. And there was a hand washing station, towels to dry, paper towels, I should say, so disposable towels. And we did notice about two other couples who were sitting eating. And the one couple didn't have a mask on, and then the other couple did. There was a couple behind us who was actually waiting in line, listening to the whole dialogue. So the young lady then proceeds to tell us that, in order to you to go into our outside seating, which is, if you're familiar with Charlottesville, the outside mall seating, it's directly in the center. It's a walkable area. It's eight blocks of walkable mile area. And they were sitting out there, and she said, "Well, you have to wash your hands first,
Okay, that's fine.
right, and dry them, and then put on a mask. And as you walk to your seating area, wherever you seat you have to keep your mask on outside
Until your food comes.
until your food comes, and then eat." Of course, we have a 2.5-year-old and a 10-month-old, and so we're looking at this, and I think this is it hit a nerve at both of us. For me, it was comical because for those who don't know, I have a medical background. I came to the U.S. over 21 years ago, actually this year, and I've been a citizen for about probably 10 years. 10 years this year, and I was a former Navy corpsman, and so I have ample amount of experience in the medical sector, from ER to whatever. So Mandy and I both have been in very much disagreement with the whole process of wearing a mask. There's nothing scientific behind it. You only wear it when you need to be. I've been in probably about 3 or 4 surgeries, some minor, some major, where I've stood in, and that's where you wore it. It was disposable. You got rid of it. I'm not going to get into the the dynamics or the, I guess it's the finite details of a cloth mask versus a paper mask and an N95. I'm not going to do that.
Overall, we don't agree with the mask wearing, and so we're choosing not to do it. Virginia's not requiring it. It's highly suggested. It's not mandatory here in the state, and so
You
it's
go.
situation to be in, to be out with the children and basically be told that you cannot eat here unless you put a mask on. And that's fine. We chose not to eat there for the sake of our family, for the sake of the children, that we don't have to explain them. We haven't had to explain to Sage, our 2.5-year-old, what mask wearing is, or this concept of mask wearing here in the state or other states right now with the pandemic. So we've chosen not to go that path, and we are happy, healthy, and like I said, we agree that mask wearing is for surgeries and for situations that need mask wearing. But being outside to cover your mask, cover your face, now there's nothing personal about you. There's nothing showing your face. There's no... Okay, sorry. Toby was thirsty.
So so I think the bottom line of what we're talking about and what we're presenting this video is that it is our constitutional rights, and I think that's what we as Americans, and me being a naturalized citizen of 10 years in this country and having been living here for 21 years, our constitutional rights to decide what future we want for our children. And for those of you who have young children, I know some of you who do, some of you who don't, those of you who have grandchildren, great-grandchildren, what's going to matter in the next couple of months or weeks is the decisions you make to how far you want to be allowed to be controlled by your government. What is happening is draconian and tyrannical. I think some of you may be at your wit's end, but you may have not spoken out about it. It has nothing to do with public health. To shut down not just a nation like the United States, but the world from the Bahamas. And economically, the Bahamas would never recover, which means that there's going to be hundreds of thousands of people out of work and put into abject poverty in the next couple of months. Not even talking about the suicide rate, because people can't deal with not being close to loved ones and relatives. Social distancing has nothing to do with passing on a virus, a pathogen, whatever you want to call it. It has to do with social engineering, which you can look up that word and see the etymology of that word. It has nothing also to do with the 80 or 90,000 people who've supposedly died. And I say supposedly because I'm sure some of you who are in the medical field, I know some of us are friends and family who is. My question or my challenge to you and your core belief system is, look, if you can, find the autopsy reports for the people, whether you knew them or not. And there you won't find any, because they're not using that. They're not using a pathologist or autopsy reports. It is sort of very broad and loose policies that have been implemented by NIH, the CDC, the World Health Organization, and the list goes on, where if you happens to contract COVID-19 and you get hit by a bus, you supposedly died from COVID-19. Having it and dying from it is two completely different things, and I'm sure those of you who are in the medical field and non-medical field, you don't need to be an expert in that to know the difference. And the next thing is the fear, and I think Manny and I both talk about this. It's the fear of the unknown. Just place yourself in last year, Memorial Day. What were you doing? Were you afraid of going out of your house? Were you afraid of shaking the hand or hugging a loved one? Consoling that person who may have lost their loved one in combat or not, or suicide. And this is not, Memorial Day is about that. It's a solemn, poignant day to reflect and to remember those who have put their lives before us and to the birth of this nation, this great nation. But it's saddening to both of us, and also frustrating to see friends, family members, neighbors have taken this to be something that's very serious. And it's not serious in the medical public health spectrum. It's serious that our liberties and our freedoms are being eroded away.
What we're saying is we are going to continue to spend time with friends and family and enjoy life as best as we can. Um, if we're sick or become sick or family members are sick, we understand staying home and recovering and doing your best due diligence there. But we are going to get out and we are going to be present in today and tomorrow.
That's right. And this is for our children. This is for the future. We're taking a stand here because I think both of us has reached our end, our wits end of what's going on, and there is no rationale behind it. I guess my first advice is cut off your TV. The idiot box, as my grandmother used to call it. Stop, listening to what they're saying because they're going to put you in fear. And that is not what you want to live by. That's not how Americans live. We don't live in fear. Um, and so we have to think that way because we live in an amazing, great country with its faults and with its positiveness and with its continuing movement towards the freedoms and liberties that we want our great children, our grandchildren, our great grandchildren to have, and the economic stability that they had before. I'm not going to use the word the new normal. We're not going to use that. We're not going to use the word social distancing, and we're not going to conform to the concepts of contact tracing.
We're people.
Yeah.
We enjoy being around our friends and our family, and we miss you all. We really do. We miss those we haven't seen, and we really just want to let you know that we love you, and we hope this video does not offend you in any way, but that we wanted to share how we felt in regards to the pandemic and what's going on right now into society.
Okay, we're back. So in conclusion, I think we want to relate that we want an open discourse. We want each and every one of you, of our Facebook friends and family members, to do your research. Do some deep diving. To use an old phrase, go down the rabbit hole and discover that what you see or the perceptions that is being put out is not reality. And especially today, on this very poignant day of Memorial Day, those who have little social contact, especially those veterans who have returned from theaters of war and combat, tend to suffer more because female, male, relive the experiences, the traumatic experiences they have discovered. There's nothing glamorous about war, but there's also the possibility of them not being able to connect with friends and family members because of what's being imposed through the tyrannical draconian measures that are supposedly in the name of public health. And as I said before, suicide is going to be a major problem. It is among veterans, but it's also not just veterans, it's civilians. We're just not putting this out to our veterans or dependent friends and family. This is also going out to everybody because it is not a normal behavior. And this is not the new normal. It's not a normal behavior. So in closing, do your own research. You don't have to believe a word we say, or you don't even have to care for what we say. But we're saying this out of love. We're not saying this to have a pissing contest or a cockfight or create animosity. And if you feel that way, so be it. We love you still. But we're not going to conform, and we're not going to comply.
That's right.
We love you all.
Love you.
Take care.